Preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. Florida men's basketball will square off against Notre Dame on November 17th in the opener of the Players Era 8 event at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. The winner of that contest will take on the winner of Houston versus Rutgers in the semifinal matchup on November 18th, with the Players Era 8 Championship on November 19th. 82 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. The night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I got this rat, this annoying F-bombing rat. Jack Nicholson is Whitey Bulger in The Departed. Has Jack done anything since? Honestly. It's cinema gold. And when I say to you a rat, you know, you think of a stool pigeon, right? Who are the most infamous rats of all time? Whitey Bulger. Sammy the Bull Gravano. Do we want to get into the deep throats of Watergate? Heck, Trent Baalke. They're all over the place, okay? People rip on one another. People tell on one another. To me, it's really the lowest form of any human being. I honestly believe that. But nonetheless, a rat is a rat is a rat is a rat. Claude Lemieux, who died today at the age of 60, was a rat. But he was a different type of rat, okay? He had the ability to take over a playoff series. He had within him agitation. He had within him the ultimate contrarian, the ultimate antagonist. He could do things that only a few people in the history of sports, period, have done. You name the sport. I think the greatest badge of honor that anyone could ever have in sports, and I'm not going to say sport. Don't vocab me to begin this show. It's not sport. It's not food and drink. It's not he had 7 home runs and 38 RBI. It's RBIs. Okay, but anyway, back to Claude Lemieux. Hated by everyone, yet adored by his own fan base. How many of those have we actually witnessed throughout our lifetime following whatever sport it actually may be? That is exactly what the case was with Claude Lemieux. 4 Stanley Cup champions, won one in Montreal, won a couple in New Jersey, also won one with one of the, I think, the latest rivalry that just absolutely sparked the National Hockey League. That was when he was with Colorado and, of course, going against Hockey Town in Detroit. That was simply phenomenal. If you don't know what I'm talking about at all when it comes to Claude Lemieux, he would start scrums. He was a cheap shot artist who would go behind other players and let them fight his battles. He would turtle. And if you don't know what that is in NHL terms, turtle is like a turtle. When you see the turtle out in your backyard or in your pond or crossing the road, what does the turtle do when you approach it? He takes his limbs and he takes his neck and he sticks it under the hard shell, right? It's exactly what Claude Lemieux did as a player. I'll look at him in more than 1,200 career games, 379 goals, 786 points overall, and that doesn't even tell the story. How about 80 career playoff goals? How about 9th all-time when it comes to playoff goals? How about winning a Conn Smythe Trophy, which is the MVP of the Stanley Cup Final? And yes, I can't tell the story without bringing up, arguably, the two biggest situations he was ever involved in. Number one, 1987. And if you've never YouTubed this, you are in for an absolute treat. It was a pregame party, or, a pregame skate before the 1987 playoffs between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens. And what they had going in Montreal was hockey players are incredibly superstitious. So when everyone would leave the ice, Shane Corson and Claude Lemieux in Montreal, they would take the puck and they would flip it in the empty net. Well, before this game in Philadelphia, Ed Hospodar and Chico Resch said, hell no, that's not going to happen. And they came out of the runway and they went after Claude Lemieux. Hospodar started pounding legendarily here, just absolutely destroying Claude Lemieux. This is all on video. Again, this is before they dropped the puck. They didn't bring out, they were going to bring out the Zamboni. They were going to have all the pregame festivities. And then before you know it, Knuckles Nyland comes out from South Boston. He's with the Montreal Canadiens. Here comes Big Dave Brown, who doesn't even have a sweater on. And if you've ever fought before, you know that having the sweater off is a huge advantage to anyone who would fight. And this went on for probably 12 to 15 minutes. Both teams trading punches, just an enormous pregame brawl, again, back in 1987. And if you have an opportunity, I would recommend after this show, go to YouTube and check that out. If you've never seen it, you're going to be blown away. Then you get to the rivalry, 15 years later. And it's Colorado, and it is Detroit. And Claude Lemieux, to this day, has probably one of the biggest cheap shots in the history of hockey. From behind, he takes Chris Draper and just buries his face into the top part of the boards. Think of your whole body weight going down. Draper shredded his jaw. Broke his nose, broken bones in his cheek, his orbital bone shattered. Okay, his entire face was broken by this cheap shot when it came to Claude Lemieux. And of course, they would get back and they would get even with him. Lemieux would fight every once in a while, but he is gone. And, he just brought out the ceremonial torch for Montreal just a couple of nights ago before Game 3. And he was represented and was there for that incredible honor. If you look at the history of the Montreal Canadiens, certainly we know they have not won a Stanley Cup since 1993. But if you go through their history, they have the most Stanley Cups of any team in the NHL. He dies completely, totally unexpectedly today at the age of 60. The best way to compare him would be to a modern day player, Brad Marchand, Matthew Tkachuk, a player like that. And this one hurts a little bit. Yeah, I remember not a lot of guys that have played that I despised. Alf Samuelson's a guy who comes to mind. There's a few that do pop up, but that was the case for Claude Lemieux. No relation to Mario Lemieux, but certainly he was a legend. 21 years in the National Hockey League. This is sad. He is gone at the age of 70. I hate this, man. We can't go a week without talking about someone that we watched growing up who is no longer with us. And, of course, this comes on the heels of what we got into, a few days ago, discussing Bob Horner, who passed away at the age of 68. So rest in peace there, Claude Lemieux. All right. I want to move on and get to the Jaguars. We're going to be joined by Gerald Ingram in about 25 minutes. And I saw Gerald at the Jaguars OTA #1 a couple of days ago over at the Miller Electric Center. I want to look at it through a coach's perspective, what he sees, what he's able to figure out, what he cannot tell as of yet, because obviously pads are not on. I think something for me that has not been told a great deal, and it is arguably the biggest question that I have about the 2026 Jaguars, even more than what are they going to do about another edge and what are they going to do about the pass rush. I know that's the meat and potatoes. I mean, if you go to a bar right now, God bless you if you're on your way to a bar. Just drive safe. Have a good time. But that's what you guys are going to talk about. That's what you gals are going to talk about, right? It's getting to the quarterback. That's the big important story. The other part of this for me is what happened with the rushing attack. This was #1 early on in the season. Now, it's very lengthy, as we know, 17 games, and you still had some impressive marks. ETN went over 1,000 yards. They certainly did improve when it came to rushing touchdowns. But again, it wasn't something that you could bank on week in, week out. They still seemed to struggle in short yardage situations. I have always been a believer that Travis Etienne was a solid 3-down back. He was not. The screen game was gone a year ago. Even after 7 or 8 years worth of a relationship between Lawrence and Etienne, it just didn't work. And we saw 3rd-down snaps a year ago. The rookie Allen Jr., 146 3rd-down snaps. Only 52 for Travis Etienne. Etienne played 60% of the running back snaps. That's low. I would assume that most of you out there thought it was higher. I've said since day one, and I get criticized for it, which is fine. I think this is going to be a better stable of backs. I think this is going to be a better overall rushing attack. But what happened? And it's not like you can just stereotype it and say, well, their scheme did not work, right? It's not as simple as that, because defenses nowadays are so incredibly complex that you just can't say, all right, we're an inside zone run team. No, we have more gap principles. No, hell no. We're going to go old school and go man to man and line up that way, schematically speaking, and we're going to run right at you. You can't do that. Sometimes you're not the leader in this situation, depending on how fierce and just how really potent the defense you're facing is. I mean, if you can get home like Seattle did with 4, and look at New England, 5, 5, 5, and 6, the sacks that they allowed in their 4 playoff games, that does include the Super Bowl. So I don't think it's a great offensive lineman in town. I don't think there's a top 15 lineman in town. If you were to go to any assorted position and look at the starting 32 at each and every one of those 5 offensive line positions, I don't think the Jaguars have a top 15 guy. You may disagree with me, which is fine. What I'm trying to figure out, is it personnel? Is it the line? Is it the running backs not seeing the holes? Is it the running backs not exploding? It's run to the hole, right? And I remember it was Tyrone Wheatley who said this probably 3 or 4 years ago, former running backs coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not about running to the hole. It's about running through the hole. Okay? Was that the problem? Or was it the scheme? And they go out, Liam Cohen, and he brings in Brian Pacucci, handpicked. Worked with him at Kentucky. Worked with him at Tampa Bay. Okay, I was watching the offensive line Tuesday at the Miller Electric Center. It's incomplete because pads aren't on and they're not hitting. But I'm wondering how much of this is straight personnel or the lack thereof. How much of this is the offensive blocking schemes. Okay? Something that just does not get talked about enough. We talk about everything offensively, run the ball, pass the ball, catch the ball, the route tree, how you're lining up defensively, who's blitzing. You know why we don't talk about offensive line and run fits? Because it's the hardest thing on the football field to try to figure out. We're going to get into that coming up in a little bit with Gerald Ingram. Hopefully he'll do us a good one here and dive into that. I don't have the answer for you. I don't know if anyone in town has the answer for you. My guess would be if you brought in Cersei, Wydell, Huntington, who else in town is a former offensive lineman, and put them together with Baselli and said, let's look at the film. What do you think works? Why do I believe there'd be a totally difference in opinion about how they should actually run the football? To me, it's fascinating. To me, it's the number one, I guess I'll say, storyline for the 2026 Jaguars. All right, we got a lot to do tonight. I am absolutely fired. RJ Saunders is here. I mean, my goodness, you got the Lakers hat on. You got your shirt buttoned all the way up to the top like it's the first day of school. What's going on with you?
What's going on with you, Rick? I mean, you're looking spiffy yourself.
Woo, I had a big meeting today. You know what the only thing's better than a big meeting?
Closing it?
A productive meeting.
Right.
Yeah. Good meeting today. Good time. You doing okay?
Yeah, man. How about you?
We'll talk about a huge Game 6 coming up a little bit later on tonight in the NBA as well. We got a lot to do. And I tell you what, I'm so fortunate to be here with you on Bowden Road. No place I'd rather be. Perhaps maybe in the chair over at Shmunez Vision, though, because they give you a nice little mint when you're done. You know, it's always a cool thing to get after you visit any particular doctor. In this case, it's about your eyesight. And again, I say it all the time. I literally preach it. It's because I mean it. Don't let another week go by where your eyes are suffering, where your eyes are failing you. It's as simple as Shmunez Vision. Check them out online. While you're there, ask about laser eye surgery. Incredibly affordable, all right? And especially if you have the right insurance. And you got more than 37 years worth of experience when it comes to surgery. Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. Remember, you may think that there's nothing wrong. That's what I thought about 9.5 years ago. I went in, I sat down. Dr. Neil Shmunez said, brother, you got a serious issue in your right eye. You need surgery immediately. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. He goes, you are not. Surgery the very next morning, it was removed. There's never been a setback. There's never been a problem. Every time I visit, I have 20/20, and I want to thank Shmunez Vision. Visit them online as well. You can check out everything on Instagram. Just go to Shmunez Vision.
Tailgating around the clock.
Either way, we ought to have a lot of fun, huh?
Sports are made for celebrating. With 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Homeowners, ready to let the sunshine in without letting your energy bills go up? At Renewal by Andersen, you've got 2 ways to save on new windows and doors this month. Take 20% off your entire window and door replacement project, or choose no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. But this offer expires May 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
Hey, it's Greg. So I'm 3 weeks into Awaken 180 now, and I'm already down over 18 pounds. 18 pounds in 3 weeks. It's funny, I kept waiting for the part where this felt like one of those sad desk salads, 3 leaves, a tomato, and regret. But it hasn't. I'm eating its food I actually like, and now my sons are coming over and saying, hey, let me try that. And that's been a surprise. I thought Awaken 180 was kind of going to feel a little bit like punishment, but it doesn't one bit. I've got my coach Mandy helping me stay locked in, making adjustments, and keeping me from doing what I always did before. No pills, no injections, no fluff, just a simple plan I can actually follow and stick with. I kept saying, I'll do it next month, then next month. But then 3 weeks ago, I finally shut up and got started. Hacker, Matt, Mike, Amber, they all told me Awaken 180 works, and honestly, it's been even better than they said. So what are you waiting for? Do what I did. Call 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
Hi, Frank Frangie here, inviting you to join my wife and me June 22nd of 2027 as we experience the food, wine, and culture of iconic Italy with Colette. Our journey takes us to historic cities and enchanting medieval towns. We'll enjoy a wonderful 7-night stay in the Montecatini Term A famous resort and spa town nestled in the heart of the rolling hills of Tuscany. Visit the cultural treasures of Florence, Pisa, and lovely Lucca. Along the way, we'll discover the food, wine, and old world charm, and even have a special chef-led cooking class. This and so much more. Colette handles the details, flights, hotels, meals, and the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining my wife and me in Italy. Now, to learn more, visit 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942. That's 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
What a rat for you. Some say a one-hit wonder. I say no. Hair band from the 80s that got after it. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage, right? Smashing Pumpkins. What else has got the rat? How about probably my second favorite Bruce song of all time, Jungle Land, off the Born to Run LP. When he says the rat pulls in the town, he rolls up his pants together to take a stab at romance and disappear down Flamingo Lane. Back when Bruce was really relevant, circa 1975. Okay, tonight's show brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. Great stuff coming up here from Rick Alexander. We'll get there in just a couple of seconds. I do want to set everything up, though. A lot of good stuff happening tonight. In the world of sports. Unfortunately, again, Carolina just too dominant. They won 3 in a row. They just peppered Montreal a night ago. Here's the way I look at it in hockey. If you're going to have a chance, you got to shoot. Okay, think fourth quarter. Think January 2018. Think frigid Foxborough, Massachusetts. And then think Nate Hackett and Doug Moran sitting on a football, trying to run out the clock, not trying to win a game. Like Peterson and Foles did 2 weeks later. What did they do to New England? They cut off the snake. They cut off the head. They went for it. I think they scored 41 points on that game. 1st and 10, Jags run it. They pick up about a yard and a half. 2nd down, incomplete pass. 3rd down, out to pick up 3. Here comes the punt team. It was cowardly. It was disgusting. I can't believe Nate Hackett's been offered head coaching jobs. It was gutless. It was the worst. At least try to win, and you'll say, oh, well, Miles Jack wasn't down. Okay, he wasn't down, but it shouldn't have mattered. Should have tried to win the game. Crying out loud. 108-43 shots in this series between Carolina and Montreal. Let me repeat that. 108-43. They're not shooting the puck. These are two really good defensive teams. I say that with the expected matchup between Carolina and obviously Las Vegas, who's sitting back and waiting. We shall see. Okay, I have a little bit of an issue with the ongoing, let's say, rumor-based innuendo that comes anywhere except from here. And it's all over the place about the Jaguars are going to add Von Miller. The Jaguars are going to add A.J. Brown. The Jaguars, but in the case of Von Miller, Jadeveon Clowney, Cam Jordan, A.J. Espinoza, whoever it may be, I'm fine with that. I am absolutely fine with adding an edge. I think it's more of a training camp situation. I think we all understand that Miller wants to return to Denver. He had 9 sacks a year ago. He had 15 quarterback hits, only played 37% of the defensive snaps. I think that's all you would want him to do here. Okay, he's going to be 37 coming up real soon. Cam Jordan, I would expect the exact same thing with the Saints. I mean, anything outside of him returning there would be a surprise. But, I'm reading today, as I do every day, about what's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I get to this piece that is on Bleacher Report, and it starts tearing into Bashal Tutin. It's the same old that I'm so convinced that we've been told forever that the NFL is a copycat league. I think in a lot of situations, members of the national media are legitimate experts in the world of plagiarism. It's just changed the words around a little bit. So what's been said about Jacksonville? 2 key points this offseason. Number 1, they're in their own little world. They didn't equal the consensus board with what they did with their 10 draft picks, right? That's number 1. Number 2, they did nothing to replace Devin Lloyd, and they did nothing to replace Travis Etienne. I disagree wholeheartedly, but it's Bleacher Report. So I'm reading. I mean, anything that's written, I'm going to read. Okay? And let me get to this quote. And before I give you an opinion, I'm going to ask you what you think. Okay? Quote from Bleacher Report. Tutin is projected to emerge as the Jaguars' RB1, but the sophomore back didn't inspire much confidence that he's ready for the job during his NFL season. He may have scored 7 total touchdowns as a rookie, but Tutin only mustered 307 yards across 83 carries, a meager 3.7 yards per was his average. Okay. Again, I'm not going to give you my opinion on whether I agree or disagree with that yet. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can go to 1010XL into the night as well on YouTube. Did this hammerhead and the others who stick by this, did they not watch the playoff game against the Buffalo Bills? Did they not see the 3 carries for 41 yards? It's Jacksonville's fault that they did not give the ball back to Tutin. It's not Tutin's fault. I'm sure if you asked him, he would have said, feed me. For one reason or another, they did not go there. I just totally ripped Nate Hackett for a gutless, cowardly attempt in 2018. Liam Cohen's got a lot to learn as a head coach. Many of you blame him for not kicking the field goal and going forward on 4th down. I'm fine with that. That's him. He improved this offense by 9.1 points again. This was the highest scoring offense in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 27.9 points a game. There's so much to like about what this offense did a year ago. The one thing I don't like, why did they not run Chutin after what he was doing against the Buffalo Bills? So, is your opinion formed on a 3.7 average? Or is it what I'm going to get into here with Gerald Ingram? How much of that is the offensive line? How much of that was the game being called, down after down after down? How much of it was not enough reps? 83 carries. I remember right when was it Deion James? I remember right when he came in the league. Travis Henry wasn't getting, and I'm not comparing Tootin to Henry. But remember right when he got here, it's like he wasn't getting the ball time and again. Same happened at Alabama because they always had a stable of backs. But you knew that Derrick Henry was the type of guy that was going to get better when he got lathered up. Maybe he'd hit one for 2 or 3 or 4. Then he's going to hit one for 25. And we've seen that now for more than a decade. This is the way he carried the ball at Virginia Tech. He became better as the game went on. His only issue was coughing up the fumble, coughing up the football. But he got stronger as the game went along. Really didn't get that opportunity with 83 carries during his rookie season. I'll add my opinion to that coming up in just a little bit, but by all means, I want you to jump on in right now. 641-1010. That is the number of the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. As well, you can get to us on YouTube tonight at 1010XL into the night. All right, we're about 6 minutes away from Gerald Ingram. Let me tell you about the Alexander Law practice. I can't think of much worse right now than being in a car accident, especially when you are the victim. How many times does it happen, right? Where you're not doing anything wrong, all of a sudden, bam, you get hit. The other person is careless. They could be on the cell phone. They don't care. Then all of a sudden, you're up against it. You may be physically injured. Your car could be totaled, or at least in a situation where it needs obvious repair. And you're alone. You're like, I don't know what to do. I can't get to work. I'm injured. I don't know who to call. I don't know how this all works. You may be intimidated thinking if I pick up the phone and call a law firm, they're going to charge me. And I can't afford to pay money up front. Well, here goes. No retainer fee, no consultation fee, no fee at all for a phone call, no fee at all to contact them at Alexander Law Practice online. You will never come out of pocket. Never come out of pocket. And you get to work with Rick Alexander more than 30 years in the field. He is involved directly with every single one of his clients. Think about that for a moment. If this is you, a friend, a colleague, a family member, if you're aware of someone who has been injured and they do not know where to go, I have your answer. Alexander Law Practice. Let's get into it with Gerald Ingram. He's part of the fifth quarter. Former running backs coach right here in Jacksonville. Also won a couple of Super Bowl rings as the running backs coach with Tom Coughlin at New York. And he's a Michigan man. He's in Duval. And he's up next.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues. And I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Champions aren't born. They're built. Follow 1010XL's coverage of organized team activities. Installed by Cash Building Material and Dexafit Jacksonville. Keep the offseason rolling with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Fred Taylor. If you've been in an auto accident, you need a team who knows how to get you back on your feet and back to your life. At North Florida Medical Center, they don't just treat the injury, they treat the whole person, from physical therapy to pain management. North Florida Medical Center has a team of experts ready to help you heal and recover. I trust the team here at North Florida Medical Center, and you can too. So don't wait. Call North Florida Medical Center and get the care you deserve.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Thicket here, for nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools, summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Springtime is the perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off free installation and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, spend some time today with the folks over at Key Buick. Always a whole heck of a lot of fun. GMC, right there off of Phillips Highway. Actually, check that. Why don't we go to Southside Boulevard? You cannot miss it. Right out there. Great place. Buy all my vehicles from Key. Let's bring in Gerald Ingram. Always a pleasure. You hear him all the time, including after Jaguars games during the 5th quarter. And I saw Gerald the other day over at Jaguars practice OTA session number 1. Coach, how are you?
Great. It was good to see you, Rick. You know, we kind of had this lull period of you not being around. I know you're kicking it back and enjoying your vacation and everything. You look like you had a great time.
Yeah.
Which is good. You needed it, you know. But I kind of missed you on your show. I love your creativity.
I got a couple more coming up, Coach. I don't take any time off during football, so they're sending me back home to Boston, and then I think it's St. Lucia or something like that. So I got a couple more weeks coming up before football. But I'll tell you one thing. Once training camp gets underway, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Once it gets going, and we're excited to see how this year really goes.
Yeah, it was, in my opinion, disappointing that they had to move indoors only because I don't think you can see as much. And boy, it was hot, man. It would have been brutal out there.
It was.
Yeah, but what did
I lost a heartbeat walking across the damn field.
Yeah, it was hot at the Miller Electric Center, no doubt about it. All right, I know it's somewhat tough because there's 90 guys out there, but did anything catch your eye on Tuesday?
You know what I normally try to do, I try to hone in on an area at a time. And we know we got about 10 practices or so, and this is a period right now that, you know, it's an evaluation period. It's a growth period. It's a period of watching the cut-ups from a year ago from the standpoint of the players, coaches. But I used to love this time of year. It's, you know, it gave me a closeness to work with the players on developing the new players and the older players and watching, you know, not just us, but everybody in the league. So as a coach, you're able to create as many cut-up tapes as you can to you know, find a better way for that they can learn.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw in practice the other day, I looked at the offense and some of the secondary, but, you know, I wanted to spend time at the tight ends and the receivers and what they were going to do with Trevor on, you know, the emphasis of pushing the ball up the field was mentioned. But I thought BTJ looked 10 times better than what I saw last camp.
Yeah.
I thought he had a lot more sense of urgency. I thought he got into his breaks. He looked more confident the way he should have been, you know, as an elite receiver, and he got out of his breaks real well. So that was good. That was really good to see. And I was standing there with Jimmy Smith. And there's some times that, you know, Jimmy and I would remember back in the day with Mark Brunell, when you're going to throw the deep ball, Jimmy had the speed and the acceleration to run under it. So there were a couple of times, you know, you had to throw get the rust off, you know, and throw it out there. Make that receiver see if he can get another gear.
Yeah.
You know, run underneath the ball. Don't let it just sit there and hang and, you know, make sure he can't catch the ball. Make sure the safeties can't get it. But there were some good things going on. I thought Jacoby Myers looked really good. He looked like a pro. He separated well. Parker's Parker, which, you know, in my mind is still one of their better receivers out there that you can count on. And he's hungry. And he paid the price for it a year ago, and you could see it in practice. And they got a good group of receivers going, and I like that.
Yeah.
The tight end area, I think it's a good competitive group that they can expand on. And I like the idea of being able to go, you know, 12 and 13 personnel, because you start with the premise of first and second down. You know, are they going to play nickel all day, or are they going to play base personnel?
Mm-hmm.
And in the NFL, it's about matchups. And if you can get a matchup, you know, in any way of a big tight end or anybody like that on an average linebacker or average safety, you know, that you can do some things with. There've been some really good tight ends over the years, even when we were playing. Dallas Clark and Peyton Manning had they had a series of good things that you're able to do. You know, you can expand the tight end, you know, in sets. You can bring them back in, you know, to make sure you're running the ball. But on first and second down, are they going to go base personnel? And then when you go 13 personnel, and you have three tight ends out there, and you can do a lot of different things. You condense them. You can load the front. You can show that you're going to run. You can show some play action pass, and you can expand them into slot and say, hey, a linebacker is not going to cover this guy. And that's kind of what I saw in Nate the other day. And I was pretty pleased to see him separate. Yeah. I would be shocked. Now, we're in skirts and, you know, mini skirts, and we ain't hit nobody. But as far as being on an island and separating and getting into routes, and, you know, I like that he has a natural knack of separating and knowing when to stick move. And I thought he did it better than some other guys.
Interesting.
In situations. Yeah. So I was pleased to see he's got some detail about him on getting open. So I think it could add another dimension for us, run and pass.
You know, it was interesting after the practice to hear from Trevor Lawrence and hear from Liam Cohen. Cohen's talking about how they got to get the deep ball down. Then Trevor gets in the 12, 13 personnel, the big tight ends, the mismatches, and also the ability to run the football. Gerald Ingram's our guest. He's been in Jacksonville, was here from day one, 1995, as the running backs coach with Tom Coughlin. Let's go back to Brian Thomas Jr. for a second, because to me, this is huge. Whatever it was that happened a year ago, and there were a lot of rumors, a lot of whatever it may be, it seems like as the year went on, not a one-trick pony, but the ball was him going downfield. How important is it for Brian Thomas Jr. to get back to where he was as a rookie, where the screen game is heavily involved, crossing patterns? I mean, as a coach, what is that like? What if he is still gun shy and they can't go to those parts of his game? What do you think that is going to be like here as we get closer to camp?
Well, I think the number one thing that happened last year with the kid is a moment of humility. And you'd like to think among his peers that after what he did the year before that, he had a moment of humility in situations. But as a coach, you have to put that on your back as well, what you could have done differently in certain routes. You know, I saw some things that could have been done differently from a coaching standpoint, and the communication of what the quarterback wants to see and what the receiver is seeing. And if you do certain things too many times, you got to, when you go back and self-scouts and things, you start to say, I could have helped this kid a little bit more. I could have, not put him in that kind of situation, or I could have taught him to run that route a lot better than that. There were things that, that Jimmy and I had seen and talked about on the sideline there in practice that we always taught, take for instance, when middle safety, middle field is closed, you're not running across the dig route. You're just not. It turns into a curl route. Those kind of things. So you kind of, as a coach, if you're any kind of coach in any way, you kind of put that on your own back that, hey, you could have helped him through this. But it's a learning period for them as well. It was a new year, new team, trying to know about each other. He's the last guy you're trying to figure out, what's wrong. But you kind of like, this is not the guy we thought during camp and what you and I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he obviously was going through something and was fighting through something. And thank God we were able to bring in, Jacoby Myers in there, who helped the room show what it's like to be a pro. And he had great experience, and he was brought up right, and he was a great fit for that room, which was much needed. And he had to take a step back in humility and say, hey, I'm watching some of these other guys might be playing better than me.
Right. Yeah.
So he's got a lot, he's got a lot in front of him, but he looked a lot more comfortable the other day, and hopefully that progresses.
Gerald, last question for you. Inconsistency a year ago when it came to running the football. How much of this, in your opinion, is personnel, the offensive line, the backs? How much of it was scheme? And we know this is a very diverse scheme. They do different things in game. They do different things against different opponents. I mean, Liam brings in Brian Bacucci, who he's known, had him in Kentucky and in Tampa. Mm-hmm. How much do you look at that and say, no, it's the Jimmy and the Joes, the other side of it being possibly a better blocking scheme?
You always, at the end of the year, when you do the things that you do, you're always looking to scheme better. And may it be motioning and creating holes by motioning people, shifting people. Are we running enough gap and pull schemes? Are we running too much zone scheme? Are we not running any 8-man front schemes? You want to make sure you have enough in your toolbox because, this is a copycat league. And people can, after a while, figure out what you're doing by set. And then if you get away from it, all you're doing is making these edge rushers. You're giving them as much money as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, everybody had to look in the mirror in this all season, and it wasn't just the players. Yes, we do have to make a total emphasis of coach, player, Everyone has to get this done. The running backs have to get it done. The offensive line have to understand what's needed in situations. Receivers blocking. It's an all-in situation. But when you say you're going to run the ball, that makes you a more physical team.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the thing. The tough, the grit, all the things that we expect. Going backwards does not make you tough. Going forwards make you tough when you need it. And we saw it at the end of you look at Seattle and how they played. They're physical on both sides of the ball. They really are. They have great team speed and they play hard. They play physical, and it starts in camp. But the plant the seed right now is now. You have to start planting the seed right now, what you're going to do, how we're going to do it, and what our level expectations are, and fight for that ring.
Yeah.
I love fighting for that ring every year, no matter if you get it or not. I miss fighting for that ring.
Gerald Ingram, ladies and gentlemen. You get him in the fifth quarter, and, of course, all across our radio dial here on 92.5 FM. Gerald, always a pleasure, sir. I'll see you out there Monday at the Miller Electric Center.
Looking forward to it. Football.
There he goes, Gerald Ingram. Good stuff there. Always very thorough, very to the point, and certainly really appreciate his analysis, as I hope you do as well. That's going to be a lot of fun ongoing as we head towards the season to see exactly how that all does transpire. I mean, I'm not really walking out on a limb here, but I think they're going to have a better season rushing the football. We'll see. And I know you will remind me if I'm wrong.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Naturally, you've heard of me. Us?
They are the Drill.
Actually, we're twins.
Mornings
Well, if we ever make a show called Rejects, we'll know where to look.
on 1010XL.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Right now, Renewal by Anderson is giving you the power to choose. For a limited time, pick the offer that works best for you. Take 20% off your entire window and door project or enjoy 24 months of special financing. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 full years. Our energy-efficient windows and doors keep your home cooler in the Florida heat, reduce drafts, and can help lower your energy bills. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated business on the First Coast for nearly 20 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence in Jacksonville, trust Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Mailbox right now. Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, a lot on the Jaguars coming up in the second hour of the program. Also, try to have a little bit of fun as we, at least I am as a hockey guy, celebrating the life of Claude Lemieux, who was found at 3 a.m. this morning in a furniture showroom. Parent suicide at the age of 60. Won 4 Stanley Cups. He was more than a pest. He was a rat. But please give me the ultimate rat. And you can use the rat any way that you want. You can use it as a stool pigeon, or you can use it as, someone that got under the skin of not only opponents, but certainly their fans as well. So we'll do that coming up in our second hour. Did you see any of Ohtani last night?
Oh, I watched some highlights. Incredible.
Went 6 innings of no-hit baseball.
Right.
But he walked 4, struck out 7, threw 99 pitches.
Right.
And they said, that's it. And second game in a row. Remember, the first 7 games he didn't hit.
Right.
Second game in a row, he hits. He leads off the game with a home run. Second consecutive time.
This guy is absolutely, he's not human, man. He is not human.
And anyway, it's just a pleasure to watch. And Chris Sanchez now 44 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Remember, Orel Hershiser actually broke the record that was there for a very long period of time, probably 30 years or so, when Don Drysdale did it back in 1968. I believe that was still the mound was still high in 68. I want to say it came down in 69 because of Bob Gibson. I may be wrong. I'll check that during the break. All right, we'll get an NBA opinion from you, RJ, coming up in our second hour. We were a little bit long-winded in hour number 1, so let's reset everything and get into hour number 2. I'm still patiently waiting here for your response to what was written about Bayshell Tootin. How can members of the media, not here necessarily, but outside, how can you give up a guy based on 83 carries? I mean, they want to make a trade. Jacksonville make a trade for Alvin Kamara? Really? Well, give me your thoughts on that as well. We'll take a look at that coming up in hour number 2.
Jacksonville's home for Florida Gators baseball.
Florida is chomping at the bit to start their run to Omaha against the Ryder Broncs in regional tournament action. Catch the first pitch tomorrow at 1 on 1010 a.m.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Which team holds the record for the most NCAA men's basketball championships?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowners policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
UCLA holds the record for most men's NCAA basketball championships with 11. Kentucky is next with 8.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
College football isn't just a season, it's a sisterhood. Bold Ladies is the women's membership group of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, where community, connection, and college football come together. This is Stacy from 1010XL, and I enjoy my membership. From exclusive events to networking, philanthropy, and unforgettable game day experiences, Bold Ladies is where women make an impact. Visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com and join today.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
I'm with Sullivan from Cycles of Jacksonville and Sullivan. You love the beach and you love to ride, so tell everybody what Honda's got cooking right now.
Yes, definitely. Here at Cycles of Jacksonville, we have a full line, Hondas, Vespas, Triumphs, everything you can think of just to ride to the beach. It's going to be the best summer ever when you hop on that ride this year.
So if you head to the showroom first, you're going to see all sorts of examples of what they can enjoy.
Exactly. Come see us at the showroom, Atlantic Boulevard. We're ready to see you there.
You can log on, check out their Facebook page or cyclesofjacksonville.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Got a lot going on in hour number 2. Already looking forward to tomorrow's program as well. We're going to try to figure out what the heck's going on in college football. What a mess. My buddy, the attorney Rick Alexander, is going to join us, and we're going to try to figure out something that is happening. But they're talking out of different sides of their mouth. No doubt about it. I'll keep you updated on a couple of baseball games. Actually, it's nearly over in Boston. Former Red Sox Chris Sale, 5 innings, no runs. I'd make that 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. Atlanta up 10-2 over Boston. How about that? They just gave away Chris Sale. They just said, come take him. And Paul Skeens now gotten roughed up his last couple of outings. I think we all saw Olivia Dunn and that mouth running on that first pitch home run, his last outing. Right now he has pitched 2 innings and is yet to allow a run against the Chicago Cubs. That's in Pittsburgh. So I'll keep you updated on that as well here in our second hour. You know something, RJ? The latest death threat that came in from DJ Uyunglele's dad, talking about when DJ was at Florida State,
right,
how he received death threats. I think we're at the point that this needs to be taken far more seriously. It's one of the two. Find out who did it and charge them, or if it didn't really happen, eliminate that from the conversation because Tony White, the defensive coordinator of Florida State, brought it up in season, and I contacted everyone imaginable several times over at Florida State, and they flat out ignored me. If you yell death threat, I would think it would be very easy for the proper authorities to track stuff down social media-wise to figure out where this came from. It's not like cocaine found at the White House where obviously there'd be no surveillance there. Okay?
Right.
This is direct from social media.
And I would also like to think if on the other side of that coin, if you're saying that like it's not true and these things aren't true or we didn't, personally quote unquote hear anything, then maybe you should go to the media as well and kind of explain that as well. I mean, if this has now happened twice where you have two individuals who are, and in DJ's case, were part of the Florida State football program, and they're saying, hey, we got death threats, I think that should be taken with the utmost seriousness, and you should really try to find out, okay, where's this coming from? Who was the person who made the threat? And, let's see if we can't, punish them to the fullest extent of the law as we can. I mean, so for these two things to kind of be, coming out of people that are close to DJ, in this case being his father, and then you also have, Mr. White saying that, that also happened to him as well, then, I think that Florida State shouldn't drop the ball here and, stay quiet about it.
Especially about 13 months ago, they had a shooting on campus.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, a fatal shooting on right on, and that is where Florida State is as a university. That no big deal. Let's sweep it under the rug. We have no money to fire. I mean, are you kidding me? It should be a very simple investigation. You can find out where this stuff is coming from. And as far as I'm concerned, listen, I mean, if you are at that point as a fan in any sport, that's where you are, oh my God. I mean, you got to go away. And I also believe the flip side of that, I understand embellishment. I understand crying wolf. Okay. I don't say I support it. I say I understand it. But you can't go the way of a death threat. I don't believe that. I mean, DJ Uiagalelei showed up on campus the month before. I don't believe that he was received. I just find that hard to believe that he was. I know this is a very, 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 very angry fan base. Okay? And I get it. I'm one of yous. But a death threat? Come on. What that does is that hurts the entire look of a fan base. The stereotype of the fan. Oh, why would you go to Florida State, man? If things will go well there, their fans offer up death threats. Did they really? Or maybe it was an opponent who was trying to get under the skin. Things can be planted. Right. We were talking about that hammerhead today. I was over at Key Buick talking with Conrad and some of the folks about, I can't think of his name. The Bama fan who went to, was it Updike? Who went to Auburn and poisoned all the trees in Toomer's Corner. I mean, that's insane. You got to draw the line somewhere. Okay? Harvey Updike. John Updike, of course, an author, right? God, I just, and the local media doesn't even ask. The local media doesn't, it's like they know. It's like it's a wink-wink job. I mean, they won't ask. Mike Norvell shows up with a black eye. And they won't even ask over there. Do you think if Liam Cohen showed up with a black eye, you don't think someone here would ask Liam Cohen or Tony Baselli or James Gladstone or why do you have a black eye? They won't even ask about a black eye. They're so freaking scared.
I mean, Liam Cohen is still being asked about the back and forth he had with Saleh after the game. I mean, there wasn't even any fist thrown. I mean, he's still being asked like, hey, is everything okay or is the beef still brewing?
It's a broken university, and it's run by clowns. And the media they walk right in line. And I'd like to say I get it. But when I was over there, they lost like one game a year, and it was on a wide right or whatever, and I used to piss off the people because I was convinced that they shouldn't have lost those games. So if you expect me now when they lose every game, especially when they go on the road, to shape up, I ain't changing my spots. Stop with it. Stop sending death threats to people. It's a game. And if you're making it up, damn it, stop it as well.
But even if you're making it up, I think that should be taken pretty serious as well. Like, why are you making these threats if you're just playing around or toying around?
Why didn't Florida State investigate Tony White? He stood right up and said, I am receiving death threats.
Yes.
I called and emailed everyone at Florida State. They would not respond to me.
That's wild, though. Unless somebody knows something and, they're just trying to keep it to secrecy. But why would you keep something like that in secrecy?
If they know something, why not say why not just say we have conducted a thorough investigation?
Right.
And then guys like me will shut up. But you know what? There are no other guys like me. The guys in Tallahassee aren't even going to talk about this. They don't care.
If you had to guess, why?
They're scared. Lack of access.
You think they would take away access if someone dug deep?
Yeah, I do.
Come on.
Well, why wouldn't they do it?
Right, but I'm like, for them, like I'm talking about like the people in Tallahassee, like if it's seriously something like that and you're worried about losing access to the team, like come on,
again,
man.
Nothing like that's happened around here.
Right.
But if it did, do you think that this radio station and others and other media entities would just let it go?
Oh, we'd be idiots if we did. We'd be idiots if we did. It's like it's not like we can't not ask the question. I think, I hate bringing it up, but I mean, look at the New England situation. It's not like the Patriots can tell the local media, like, hey, like, don't talk about this when it's only like, I don't know, the biggest story, like, in sports entertainment and maybe just in regular local news as well, especially in that market. It's not like we can't ask the question or try to dig deeper into the question. People who are following Florida State and covering Florida State and are on the beat there should have every right to really ask this question and say, hey, man, what's going on?
I think it was Rod Schote, linebacker from the 70s, who was involved with a lady of the night who was involved in a situation where there was a death in the combat zone. I remember the Irving Fryer steak knife story. Aaron Hernandez. All of the different gates, okay? And then certainly, Bob Kraft and a massage parlor, and now Diana Rossini and Mike. He spoke for 18 minutes this week. That's all he was asked. The media did not step away. They asked. Tony White, the defensive coordinator of Florida State, comes out and says, I have received death threats. And there wasn't even a follow-up.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
And I reach out to everyone over there.
Oh, I know you do. And they're like, well, forget him. I'm not going to respond. This is a serious charge. Any accusation like that should be taken very seriously. I mean, there should be, phone records, social media records. And it's not like, law enforcement doesn't have the access to figure out who's, behind that, who's the culprit behind it. If, those at FSU, and maybe they have, and maybe they just say, hey, listen, we don't have to tell you. But if they haven't, and you understand that law enforcement has the access and has the ability to figure out who would be these people, and you could charge them, because what kind of a message are you sending kind of to the rest of your staff and to the football team as well? Like if they're saying, hey, like this stuff is happening to me, and you really don't look into it, kind of what message are you sending?
I think it's bad business. 4671's like, you 100% sure it's not being investigated because it's an ongoing investigation? They can't comment on it. Maybe. But it's been ongoing now for 7 or 8 months? It's a paper trail, right? It's an email. It's a text. It's Twitter. How many rocks do you need to uncover? You got some brilliant people that are able to figure this out, right? I mean, they can figure out anything computer-wise if it comes to like child pornography or, something that is very, very sad. Why can't they figure out the same thing here? Or is it just simply, well, coach was going on and, it kind of, I don't know. I mean, when someone like me consistently asks, all you got to say is we're investigating. And I swear to God, I'd let it go. And if they did find someone, do you think they'd want this story buried? No. Of course they would let the people know because you don't want this to happen again. Put it this way. If there was an answer to this on Tony White, and it came out that so-and-so and so-and-so did it, my guess is that the dad of DJ Uiagalelei wouldn't have said a word the other day in this podcast. Now, that has not been said. It has not been reported. He busts out saying that they couldn't go to McDonald's. They spit in his food. I mean, who does that? I was over in Tallahassee people don't do that. They don't do that, RJ.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, you would know absolutely better than me. I would always think that the Florida State fan base, and we understand college kids and all that stuff, and you get rowdy at the football games, but they don't look like a football fan base who is doing things like that, in my opinion. It doesn't feel that way. Now, I mean, like I said, you went there, you graduated from there, you went to plenty of football games. You know better than me. I just don't think that the football fan base had ever the capacity to be like that.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that they would take it to that extreme. I don't. And look what happened to Jim McElwain. Look at what Jim McElwain said. It cost him his gig. Now, Jim McElwain was losing games. He was out. If Jim McElwain was winning games, that would have slid by. I can't, for the life of me, try to figure out what's going on with Tony White. Okay? This is amazing to me that nothing has come out of this. I mean, I would, and if it was proven that he didn't do it, if that's not just cause, man, I don't know what in the hell is. Again, I understand embellishment, man. I understand a fishtail. But you can't go the route of death threat. Death threat. 6 months after you had a tragedy, a shooting on campus. God, man, the leadership at my alma mater is just terrible. It pains me. I mean, it is sick. Grow up.
So you don't really understand what it's all about.
Said Fred will have to do this.
Fat Tony.
I'm smart.
With Mike Dempsey.
I'm smart. I want respect.
Jaguars today.
Would you stop with this Godfather stuff?
Weekdays from noon to 3.
Keep your friends close.
On 1010XL.
But your enemies closer.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The biggest sporting event of the summer is about to kick off. I'm JJ LaSelva from The Frangie Show, and if you want a real man's view of the beautiful game and analysis of Team USA, tune in to 1010XL's Soccer Show podcast, laced up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building. So now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Maybe you have concerns about putting your home on the market and getting it sold. Well, let me alleviate those for you. There's a real quick solution. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold or they will buy it. Call 414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. You'll find out for yourself. Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home or mine. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Anthony and Mary in Palmco said, we needed to sell our home to move closer to family, but low cash offers weren't cutting it. Since we'd only bought a year earlier, options felt limited, but not for Chad and Sandy. Call Chad and Sandy today, or log on to chadandsandy.com.
Meet John and Ben Lupo, first and second generation owners of Jacksonville's Beards Diamonds.
We can do things that these corporate stores cannot do. Make decisions on the spot. Our pricing is better than anybody else's. We do not do commissions.
We really try to keep it a family environment, relaxed. We're not trying to sell you what we want. We're trying to listen to what you want.
In fact, don't be surprised if you end up spending less at Beards than you had budgeted, because they're going to teach you how to buy a diamond like a dealer buys and show you how to buy smart.
If we can save the consumer money, we're all about that. If we can achieve the same look, the same quality, and for them to spend less, that's what Beards is built on.
Why pay more if you don't have to?
Dad always taught me from day one is you got to look at the diamond. You can't just buy off the paperwork. Rather than us just saying, hey, this one's $7,000, the other one's $10,000, we're going to tell the consumer why this one's $7,000 and why this is $3,000 less, but almost looks identical.
Don't overpay at the Wall Street-owned corporate chain. Get the transparency and value you deserve at Beards at St. John's Town Center.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know, the summer is here. In fact, I'm out on a little vacation right now with my family, and that's one of the great things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss. I'll talk about the coaching you get on Awaken 180. You know, some weight loss programs, what do, right? They just send you some shots. They say, all right, work it out. They send you an appetite suppressant, some sort of pill. All right, you're on your own. Not Awaken 180. You talk with your coach. Like my coach, Kate, every time I was on vacation, every time I had a family get together, we worked up a plan. We worked up something for me to follow, and then I would get right back on the program when I returned from vacation. It's one of the great things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss, and it's why I lost over 100 pounds. It's the best weight loss program I was ever on. They know life happens, but they work with you, and it's great. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you tonight till 8 o'clock, Hacker Nation in Hawaii. He will be back on Monday. Monday's going to be a blast. It'll be another opportunity to get out to the Miller Electric Center. OTAs. Love them. Hopefully no rain, and they'll get back outside. That should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Some people pretty fired up about this article in Bleacher Report saying the Jags should make a trade for Alvin Kamara. Totally disagree. There continues to be talk out there about A.J. Brown, and certainly that would involve Brian Thomas Jr. Totally disagree. Okay, I do think they need to add an edge, whether it's Von Miller, whether it's Jadeveon Clowney, whether it's Cam Jordan. Oh, we have got breaking news. This comes to us from Tom Pelissaro, NFL Media. The NFL today informed teams that this year's cut-down deadline to 53 players will be at 6 o'clock Sunday, August 30th, not the following Tuesday, as it has been in recent years. So waiver claims will be due at 1 o'clock Eastern time on Monday, August 31st. Of course, the season kicks off September 9th, and then a day later, September 10th, which is really September 9th or September 8th or whatever the hell it's going to be in Australia where they play that game, right? We need to get international, people. There's two things we need. We need Florida State playing every Friday night, and we need international games for each and every NFL City. Who wins tonight? Game 6 on the line. Who do you like?
I think we're going back to OKC for a Game 7, Rick. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think Victor Wembanyama, you could see, I mean, he was visibly irritated by the loss in Oklahoma City in Game 5. Didn't talk to the media after Game 5. I think he understands just the weight and the gravity of this game. I think he's going to live up to the moment. I think he understands that there were things that he could have done better in Game 5. I mean, I won't say disappearing act from him, but certainly not a game in which Victor Wembanyama needed to have in Game 5 in Oklahoma City in order for them to be up 3-2 going back to San Antonio. So I think he's going to show the heart, and I think he's going to show the grit the rest of the team is as well. And I think we go back to OKC for winner takes all Game 7.
All right, there you have it. That's coming up tonight. 0602, but with the leadership of my alma mater as well. How we've gone a couple of years without a president. Looks like it does look like the blind hog AD may have stumbled into another acorn, actually, too, with Summerall and Caldwell. That's right. Old friend Dave Caldwell over there right now. I was asked earlier today at a meeting who's in better shape right now, Florida State. Well, I don't think there's any question. Florida has a better roster. They have a better team. They certainly have bigger coffers. They have a better administration. They have a better everything than what's going on at my school right now. I just despise what's going on at my school right now. I can't say enough about it. I've never seen anything like this. 25.95 blue. Tootin has the ability to stop and start, wait for a hole to develop. I think he'll rush for 1,500 yards. When I find that prop bet, I'll put a Benji on it and get back to you next year. By all means, and I hope you win that, Benji, because if so, you're buying the Bears. 1,500 yards. Wow. I don't think I would sign up for that because I think Chris Rodriguez is going to get his. And, you know, again, it was proven a year ago. Allen Jr., 146 snaps. He looked like he had lost some weight to me when I looked at him on Tuesday. He looked like he was down a little bit. 84-46 blue. Fred was awesome, but I think he began to a little bit too picky towards the hole after the handoff from 06 and beyond. Fred Taylor was one of the original patient runners. I mean, it feels like over the last 25 years, the guy who's received the most credit for being a patient running back was Le'Veon Bell. But Fred was that way. And again, it's the whole theory behind it all. Okay? The burst to the hole, run through the hole, or do you allow the linemen to finish their blocks? I wouldn't even know how to coach something like that. And how different that must be based on your offensive line and based on your backfield. 3,800. Rick, did I just hear you say, just turning to the show, that tooting for Alvin Kamara? Oh, no, he is a busted player. There was some trade proposals that are out there for certain guys. And again, he goes on and on and on and said that Tootin wasn't the guy. He, 87 carries a year ago, 83 carries a year ago, only averaged 3.7. He's not the answer. Go get Alvin Kamara. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. You're not going to base this off of 83 carries. It wasn't perfect. I get it. The one thing that ETN had was the big playability. Incredible balance, right? The ability to move his body in some situations where he could avoid contact. I do think that Bayshell Tootin is more of a straight line runner. I think he's got some wiggle, but I think he's more of a straight line runner. I think in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, I'd much rather hand the football off to Bayshell Tootin than I would Travis Etienne. That's not the forte of Etienne. And remember, there's a lot of people over there, and this was said before Jacoby Myers was on the roster. A lot of people think the two best hands on the team are Tootin and Allen Jr., both now second-year running backs. Let's continue on here. 4801. Did I just hear Ed Hospodar and Chico Resch on your show? Yes, you did. Those are the two who were responsible for beating the living pulp out of Claude Lemieux. Pre-game, 1987. Canadians, Flyers, playoffs. Refs were on the toilet. Then they emptied the benches, and the fight lasted for 10 to 12 minutes because no one was around to break it up. The worst of it was Dave Brown and Chris Nyland, but that is one of the infamous things. And what Lemieux did, along with, was it Sergei Gonchar, did I say? No, it was Shane Corson, is everyone would leave the ice. They'd be the last two out there, and they would take the puck and put it in Philadelphia's empty net. Well, Hospodar's like, no way. Well, that ain't happening. And Chico Resch, even though he was the backup goaltender, he was in full goaltender gear. Held back Corson, and Hospodar just went to town on Claude Lemieux. Thought I gave him the ultimate compliment, Claude Lemieux, who was found dead this morning at the age of 60, apparent suicide. This guy, what a badge of honor, man. There hadn't been a lot of guys like him in sports. There's very few now, right? I mean, Aziz would be one. You got divas in the NFL at wide receiver, and some quarterbacks are just, you don't know what to make of them, like an Aaron Rodgers, but very, very few. There's not a lot of unliked baseball players right now. There's not a tremendous amount of unliked hockey players right now. Miami's got a few of them, and Brad Marchand and Matthew Tkachuk. What about the NBA? Who's the most disliked guy right now? Is it Durant?
I would like to think Draymond Green.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I'd like to think Draymond Green's hated by.
But this doesn't compare to Lambeer.
No. Rodman.
Rick Mahorn.
Yeah. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I definitely get it. But it just seems like Draymond's antics. It almost kind of feels like, like you hate him because he's not on your team. You would love him if he is, at that grit, that fire, whatever that goes for. But him, Dylan Brooks, I would like to think as well. I mean, it looks like he's trying to be
sitting courtside for LeBron's last game.
The ultimate troll. I mean, it seems like he's trying to be one of those guys as well.
Yeah, it's but the flip side of that is what an honor. If that's your game, and you are so disliked by fans from every other opposing team, yet if you have this guy won 4 Stanley Cups, put in 6 different teams. He won 4 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams. So, he was drafted by Montreal. He goes over to New Jersey, and that was back when Claude Lemieux, no relation to, actually, I'm thinking of Jacques Lemaire. Excuse me. The neutral zone trap, which really set back hockey, I thought, about 20 years. But he was on those great teams. I'm sure those Devils fans could not stand Claude Lemieux when he was in Montreal. Same when he went to Colorado. I'm sure they could not stand him then. But when you had that great rivalry between the Avalanche and the Red Wings, the Colorado fans just adored him.
No, it always seems like it's that way, right? Like, I mean, if the person's on your team, I mean, you're fighting for him, you're waving the flag with him. If he's not on your team and you can see the antics in which he does, and it just boils your blood, it fires you up. It just seems like there's nothing better. And I mean, it's not like we're talking about guys like Jordan. I'm sure there were individuals on other teams. Like we hate Jordan because he beat our teams all the time. These are like the guys who aren't the stars, maybe not even. One of the, tier 1, tier 2 guys just below the stars. It's like, this is what this guy's going on the field or going on the ice or going on the court. And they're here to be a pest. They're here to be a rat. And we dislike it.
People hate cheats and they hate cheap shot artists. They didn't like Bonds because he was roided. They didn't like Sosa because he was roided and he had the corked bat. They didn't like Albert Bell because he was a bully. In hockey, it was totally different. There have been some of the greatest fighters in the history of the league have been adored. I mean, Bob Probert, absolutely adored. You go to that Colorado-Detroit rivalry. I mean, and you look at guys like Joey Kosher and Bob Probert when he played in Detroit. I mean, he played in both teams, Chicago and Detroit. And imagine that, man. That'd be like playing for the Yankees and the Red Sox. I guess that has happened. See Wade Boggs, Roger Clemens, and Johnny Damon. Anyway, to me, that's the ultimate respect, though. So despised by others, but loved if he is one of yours. Very few have been able to do that.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
ET here, and basketball and hockey are heating up. And the best place to catch every rivalry, every dunk and every goal, and every nail biter is at Twin Peaks, your ultimate sports lodge. Fuel your watch party with scratch-made favorites, legendary wings, and 29-degree draft beer that stays colder than the ringside. With wall-to-wall TVs, you're locked into the action from tip-off to the final buzzer. Bring your crew and rep your team. Make every game day a win, only at Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia from Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, his adorable chessman sidekick.
There are two things you want to ask when getting a custom polymer garage floor coating. Will it be done right, and will it be priced right?
And just how charming is their mascot?
No. At Checkmate, our small specialized install teams follow a strict 29-point installation checklist
to ensure the highest quality results at a price you can afford.
A Checkmate polyaspartic floor can be customized in dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear your shoes in the garage to avoid tracking dirt back into the house.
The quality you expect?
Check. A price that might surprise you.
Check. A floor you just can't wait to show your friends? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated ViStar Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids around the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
Retired Lieutenant Colonel and ONU alumni Michael Dargavel here. The hardest transition isn't deployment, it's coming home. Be part of the solution at ONU's Mission Possible Gala, October 17th at Sawgrass Marriott. For information and to register, go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Claude Lemieux. I know it's been rough lately for sports fans on the heels of Kyle Busch and Bob Horner. Today, the big surprise, Claude Lemieux at the age of 60, actually found in the front room of a furniture store, the showroom. And it's an apparent suicide. But for those hockey fans who are out there, you certainly remember Claude Lemieux. He spent 21 years in the NHL, won 4 Stanley Cups with 3 different games, 80 career playoff goals, 9th all time. Won a Conn Smythe Trophy as an MVP of the Stanley Cup. And again, more than 1,700 career penalty minutes. He did it all. He was a cheap shot artist, and he would often hide behind others. He would turtle. He would do it all. But he was still a very good hockey player. There's no question about it. And really, in one of a kind, you can basically count those guys on one hand the way that they were throughout their career. So he is gone, and that is a shame at the age of 60. You know, we were talking about this today. I told you I went over to Key Buick GMC, and we were talking about CTE and that whole Boston University study. They've looked at well over 1,000 brains of former professional football players who have passed, and I think it's 91 point something % had at least some form of CTE. And we were having a long conversation, so I brought the Aaron Hernandez brain, the CTE that he has.
Yeah.
I would think the National Hockey League would do the same here. 21 years with Claude Lemieux and possibly a scrambled brain as well with the amount of hits these hockey guys get. I mean, we've seen a lot of suicides and guys in wrestling, but I don't think there's enough investigative work that's gone on there. Certainly football has really made it a priority, which is good. But I wonder if we find something out here about Claude Lemieux.
No, yeah. I mean, that was really one of the big questions I was going to ask you when it comes to hockey and the speed in which, you're going. And I mean, these guys checking each other into the boards or laying down hard hits. I mean, just for you, I mean, you having watched the game as long as you have, just how hard are these guys getting hit? I mean, you also played the game as well. Just how hard are these guys getting hit? I mean, multiple times over the course of years. I mean, playing in the NHL or playing, in the ECHL. I mean, that has to be doing something.
Well, listen, I play both sports now, obviously not at a high level, but I think it's more physical than football. I mean, the average football play lasts, 6 seconds? And then you get 30, 35 seconds to rest. I mean, you're out there in a full sprint. And you can get checked against iron. You can get checked against the boards. You're allowed to drop gloves and fight. Sticks have been used as weapons. Go back and look at Marty McSorley on Donald Brashear. Go back and look at some of the stuff that happened in the 50s and the 60s. Some of the stick work. Look at Ted Green, for crying out loud. So, yeah, it's never going to get the credit. It's never going to be acknowledged for it because they're not as big. You could be a small guy in hockey, where obviously you cannot be a small guy in football unless maybe you're a skill position guy, a back or a receiver or possibly a corner. But they've gone through all these results and they've proven that it is a factor. So what's the end game? More games. More money for the owner, more games, baby. 17's not enough. Give us 18. And I get it. Every single one of you listening as the consumer, you're like, by all means, bring it. Hey, you know what I may talk about tomorrow? And if not, I know I'm certainly going to bring this up really on the cusp of the year, is feels like the Trevor thing is flatlined. Such a drastic improvement in the second half of the year. Very refreshing for you Jaguars fans. But I think it's on this year. And what I mean by on for Trevor Lawrence, it's time for him to take his game to a level where he has over a 100% passer rating. Okay? Last year, Drake May, 113.5. Stafford, 109.2. Goff, 105.5. Lamar Jackson, 103.8. Josh Allen, 102.2. Jordan Love, 101.2. Joe Burrow, 100.7. Brock Purdy, 100.5. Daniel Jones, 100.2. Just barely missing. Dak Prescott, 99.5. Sam Darnold, 99.1. Trevor Lawrence was 20th with a 91. It's time. It's time for his play to go to the pinnacle. It's time for him to move into, forget about the top 10. He needs to be a top 5 quarterback. He's got unlimited weaponry. He's got 3 great wide receivers, and Travis Hunter is going to still be involved as a 4th. Okay, may take a little bit of time for these rookie tight ends, but you have Brenton Strange. And I'm going to go on record again as saying I think this is going to be a better running back core. If you take everything into consideration, which I mean as well, the screen game, catching balls out of the backfield. It's time for Trevor Lawrence. I don't see why he absolutely cannot do this. I mean, he's oozing with confidence the other day. Listening to him speak and then listening to Liam Cohen speak. I mean, remember, this team improved by 9.1 points. This was the highest scoring Jaguars offense in its history. 27.9 a game. And they're talking about the deep ball. Then they're turning around talking about the 12 and 13 personnel, the ability to run, and what defenses are going to do if, in fact, there is a lot of 12 and 13 personnel sets and the mismatches that can be created, certainly in the red zone, right? With these 6'7", certainly Cozy Oil at 6.7. Where did I see it today? Let me see here. I put it down. Let me find it for you before we head to our final break of the night. What's that knucklehead's name? And I can't find it right now. It was it was Warren Sharp, who, again, he's got his math, and he does whatever he wants to do. The 10 worst quarterbacks inside the red zone last year. Number 1, Lamar Jackson. This is his math. This is his computer, okay? Everyone's got different data. Everyone's got different algorithms. I don't know. Lamar Jackson, 0.53. Minus 0.53. Dart, minus 0.23. Then it's Trevor, number 3, minus 0.18. Again, I don't know what goes into his data. Then he's asked a very good question. Someone out there says, I notice this is per pass attempt. Several of these quarterbacks are threats to run it themselves. Isn't that a key nuance? Warren Sharp goes on to say, yeah, but it's basically the same. Well, it's not for Trevor. He goes from 3rd worst to 8th worst, if you add what he did running. But if you look at his quarterback ratings, 71.9 as a rookie, 95.2 in his second year, 88.5, 85.2, and last year, 91. Just give it some thought. We'll get into that, as we get closer to the season and talk about ways that can happen. But I think it's time. A 100 or above passer rating for Trevor Lawrence.
High school, college, and pro.
As good as it gets.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Keep an eye and an ear out for Johnny O.
I'm listening.
Catch the man who knows Jacksonville football, John Osher.
Are you sure?
Weekdays on 1010XL. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Summer's almost here, and that means it's grilling season. Before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street and 295. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at a grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Make Houston's Meat Company part of your weekend tradition.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. You've been building winning teams at Fletcher for years. How does that correlate with installing fences here in Northeast Florida?
Well, Frank, at Coil Fencing, we like to take the coach approach. Implement a game plan and execute it on the field. That's been our winning recipe for 99 years.
And you tackle more than fences, right?
Absolutely. We also service and install automatic gates, perfect for multifamily communities, or business, or residence.
The best defense is a good offense. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Cubs up 1-0 over the Pirates. Paul Skeens been knocked around his last 2 outings. Only has allowed 2 hits through 5. We'll see what happens there. Could he possibly lose 3 in a row? Have you seen that video that is out with the, minor league sports? They do a great job as far as promotions. There's a dog that retrieves the baseball bat.
I've seen this. Yeah.
And I don't know what organization it is. I don't have it in front of me, but the player scored. Running back to the dugout, the dog comes flying out. He steps to his left and jumps and comes down and apparently has really hurt his knee now. I don't know if he tore his ACL, but it's a hurt knee, and it's such a freakish injury. If you probably won't remember this, but Derwin James at Florida State against South Florida just went up and came down, and it looked harmless, and he tore his knee. But, I mean, everyone loves the dog. He returns the bat. Now one of the top prospects for whatever organization this is. Could be on the shelf for who knows, maybe the whole year.
Yeah, now maybe you'll just have to have the dog just sit in the dugout instead of having to go out and get the baseball bats.
All right, next tomorrow night, we're going to try to figure out what's going on, with everything that's happening in college football. What a mess. Really, what a mess. All right, give us 20 seconds on tonight's game and also plug your show coming up on Saturday.
Absolutely. Saturday at 11, we will be talking about the New York Knicks. We'll also be talking about just the NBA Finals matchup. We presume that we'll know who the participants are. And also, I think we're going to be in a Game 7 situation. San Antonio Spurs win tonight in Game 6.
All right, Claude Lemieux is died at the age of 60. You can certainly go to YouTube and check out all his highlights. And if you want to see some lowlights, look at his hit on Chris Draper, which was just one of the biggest cheap shots in the history of sports, period. And go to the 1987 pregame fight, playoff style, between the Flyers and the Canadiens. It's 12 minutes long. You will love